Hi everyone, it's me again, Matthew, and this is going to be my presentation of my persuasive speech. But first, let me show you my audience. Alright, I did should social media companies be held responsible for teens' mental health? In my opinion, I think so, and I hope this persuades you guys to think otherwise. And if you don't think they shouldn't be. To start off, imagine this, scenario one, a teen opens their phone after school with their to view their posts on their social medias. They later see hundreds of hateful comments towards themselves and they realize it's a classmate. Scenario two, a 14-year-old girl is scrolling through Instagram while on the way to school, and she decides to take a look through the Reels section and stumble upon a video of a family getting deported by ICE. Although these platforms provide entertainment and opportunities for communication, they also create serious concerns about mental health among teens. Rates of anxiety, depression, cyberbullying, and low self-esteem have increased over the past 10 years. That's according to the American Psychologists Association, or APA. The thesis and preview of my persuasive speech is the question being asked is whether social media companies should be held legally responsible for the mental health affected their platforms on teenagers. Social media companies should be legally responsible, again in my opinion, for teenagers' mental health because they intentionally design addictive platforms that exploit developing brains. Just as a fact, men's brains don't fully develop, I say around 26. Females, I believe it's around 21, 22. So we're more susceptible within our teen years, especially even if we're younger. So again, for a developing brain to see a hurtful or harmful content, it damages it. They get scarred from it. Especially if you have traumatic events in the past, you will remember it. Same thing with here. Algorithms promote dangerous material, again, and companies avoid accountability. A lot of companies have avoided accountability when it came to major cases. I believe there was one where a 14-year-old girl committed suicide due to seeing hate speech about herself and her family. The problem, with 95% of teens using social media, young people are consistently exposed to pervasive hazards like cyberbullying, self-harm content, again, that's a big one. Dangerous viral trends, for example, the fork and outlet trend. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I will try to describe it in my best after. Hate speech and misinformation because digital presence is now mandatory. Back when we were growing up, it wasn't really as mandatory. Again, I'm a guy, I'm pretty sure we were playing with cars, Hot Wheels, Lego bricks. Nowadays, society has changed so much to the point where it's mandatory for people to be on their phone and to have a social platform. For teenagers also to socially survive, companies must hold accountability for psychological damage caused by their algorithms and unmonitored content. Mental health effects and algorithms make it worse. Algorithms amplify teens' mental health consequences by intentionally prioritizing engagement and profit over user safety. Unfortunately, I don't have a graph here, but it showed how much companies profited while also showing the case of how many low self-esteem, depression, and even suicidal rates. As platforms push extreme content to maximize clicks, users are trapped in a loop of anxiety, depression, repeated harmful material, and low self-esteem and loneliness. Again, that also triggers or worsens everything that's below here, especially again, suicidal risk. companies avoid responsibility in its entirely. Social media companies successfully avoid legal responsibility by hiding behind Section 230 of the Communications Density Act by claiming they are, and I quote, merely natural platforms rather than publishers. Again, they're tech giants, and legally, again, in my opinion, protection always allows them to maintain weak modernization user safeties while implementing entirely unaccountably the harms until they built their platform. That's why you will see every other week term updates between Instagram, Snapchat, and maybe even Facebook. I'm sorry, Meta. And that's it, I believe. Yes, so this is all that I have. Again, I hope this thoroughly persuades you. And if not, again, this is my input. Let me show you my audience one more time.
Interesting.